My name is Janaína Perpétua da Silva Freitas. I live in the town of Bom Despacho, Minas Gerais, Brazil. When I was 27, they diagnosed me with rheumatic heart disease. I needed open heart surgery to repair or replace 2 valves.
Rheumatic heart disease is a major public health problem in Brazil. It affects more than 30,000 patients every year. It results in more heart surgeries than anything else. As a cardiologist, the worst feeling is when you cannot help a patient. When a diagnosis is too late, you feel helpless, especially when their entire condition could have been prevented.
Just to give you a perspective, rheumatic heart disease is responsible for over 50% of the open heart surgeries in the Brazilian public health system. So considering that we have a fully preventable disease, it's extremely important to implement different strategies to fight rheumatic heart disease in Brazil. The first one is definitely education.
So REACH has been an Every Heartbeat Matters partner since 2019, and they have been working on an educational program here using flip charts.
We're trying to showcase how much potential the program has, while at the same time looking at it critically and seeing where we can improve it, to really show that education is an important step in preventing rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart disease and alleviating that burden on already overburdened health systems.
So the Edwards Lifesciences Pro Bono Corps is a cohort of individuals that are put together currently. It's a team that are selected based on their skill set within the company. They are brought together like a small consulting project to an EHM partner.
REACH has a very pragmatic approach, which is through the flip charts. The idea is to take something that already works and to make it expandable or scalable to more regions in Brazil or maybe to more countries across the world.
It's an educational opportunity that I think has incredible potential around a disease that could be completely preventable.
What's really exciting is to actually be on the front lines with folks that are doing this on a day-to-day basis. For me personally, that's very, very meaningful.
If we're trying to understand the efficacy of the awareness programs that exist, I think being able to measure that from an analytics perspective is where I'll be able to contribute.
And we want to try to make that as effective as possible in the 2 weeks that we're here, maybe give some recommendations around how to scale the work.
The only thing that really concerns me about the project is that for something that is so all-encompassing, 2 weeks is not a lot of time.
So, from start to finish, what we saw was a strategy, a plan to improve our results, and a way of measuring the impact of the project on the lives of the patients and the overall impact.
The questions were the first great experiences with them because such intelligent and such provocative questions made us think about our process and to rethink what we are doing on the field for research, healthcare, and etc.
They came in with an open mind. They listened, they absorbed the information, they didn't make assumptions, they just came in and really listened to what the stakeholders needed.
The pro bono team was just thrown in the deep end, I think. They went to clinics, they went to schools, we went to another city where we're working in, hosted a patient event. So they really got to experience the project while still trying to balance actually doing the work and developing the deliverable.
And especially in the patient event, they felt the pain of these patients about not having an early diagnosis and dealing with late sequelae of rheumatic heart disease. I think they learn not only from the clinical and medical point of view, but also from the socioeconomical and especially the human point of view.
You take that reality of this patient right in front of you, and then you think like, man, if someone had just been able to intervene when they were a kid and told them, go to the doctor when you have a sore throat, like actual lives could be saved, you can't forget something like that. That is really powerful. Yeah.
They told us to think big, and I really tried, but once the Pro Bono Corps had worked on the scope of work, they took it to a new level that I didn't even conceive.
I think Reach's focus when we initially got here was entirely on the flip charts. And I think over the 2 weeks, we saw a change that there was a lot more to do than just the flip charts to really make sure that you had a full impact.
And so the recommendations went way beyond what we had in the initial scope of work. We had 3 pillars: education, communication, research.
For me, it was interesting to see the applicability of my skill sets for philanthropy. I never thought they could be used this way. All right, we can each leverage our strengths, our expertise, our skill sets, our own secret sauce, and bring that to the table.
Right now, we will change how we use the flip chart and our educational process, plus how we measure their success. That's just the beginning. This will help raise awareness of the disease almost immediately. And what starts here can then perhaps even expand and influence health policy throughout Brazil, maybe even worldwide.
I do believe it will have an impact because we focused on making sure that we were leaving stuff behind that was actionable.
I think Reach and their partners can definitely do this.
Honestly, it was the best experience I've ever had.
This was a great experience, way beyond my expectations.
It's going to be hard to go back to my everyday job and to not be thinking about this every single day.
Thankful for the grace of God to help me through this. There is a purpose in all things. I learned rheumatic heart disease begins with a simple sore throat. And now I can help others by sharing my story.